All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the hopefully full-fledged SBL production here as we are heading into Game 2. In case you did not catch the very end of that game, absolute fucking madness in Game 1. And I think we're going to see probably some different picks coming through for Game 2. As is tradition, I would like to see a Victor ban coming through for back in our day, as I think best this one was the biggest source of problems.
Yeah, I mean, once he got rolling, it was the scary Victor zone that he entered, and he performed very well in that champion, and he has another opportunity here to counter pick it in the mid lane, but well, actually, it looks like they're not going to take it out the first ban rotation. So obviously, they're just thinking he's going to leave it up for that
Yeah,
counter pick.
yeah, it's the only ban change is going to be the Sipper ban, which I'm a little surprised about, to be honest.
Yeah, they're okay with uh, Master Splinter taking Trundle again, first pick overall. He had a really good start to the game, but then he was focused out a little bit from EGD. Smartly, though. And it looks like they'll actually take away the Zyra from Scotch and Knot and put it in the hands of their own support. Hook resets, I'd assume. Maybe it's a Zyra mid. I, I mean,
Yeah,
they had
I
that
actually think
potential to counter pick here, so yeah.
I think there's a good chance it's gonna be that Zyra mid, but they're gonna swap it over. I guess it could be flex based on how this is going, but it's gonna be Zyra Kaisa coming through, and so back in our day, not gonna waste any time. They're putting Zyra Shaman onto that legendary Ornn we've heard so much about. The only other champ we've ever seen this season out of a Gwen has been the Poppy. We'll see if he goes there with something new. But the pick I had wanted to see coming out of Game 1 is going to be picked. Salvo, season on the line, career on the line, legacy on the line, going to Jinx. And I think that is 100% the right pick here.
I mean, yeah, it's truly the only pick. It would actually be a mispick if back in our day didn't pick Jinx here at this part of the draft with it still being open. This is it. This is the statement game for Sabo. He could lead his team here to a 2-0 lead here in the finals of it all. But it looks like back in our day enemy gate is down. Answers back with the Poppy pick, which would assume. I guess I'm assuming it's going into the top lane here, up against that Ornn. But it could be potentially Poppy jungle.
Yeah, it's a wild world of League of Legends sometimes.
Did you see the clip with that coach of? Oh, he's not Splice anymore. I forget. Yamato Cannon. I fucked up. He apparently picked Poppy jungle in a match that they wasn't supposed to, but it won.
Whoops.
So I mean,
Well,
it has a win in professional play. That's all I know.
all's well that ends well, I guess.
And the final band's finished up. I believe it's pretty similar here. Ziggs and Orianna taken away from Renai circulation, whereas back in our day, once again, take out Darius and Vladimir. Not wanting
Yeah,
fastest one to snowball on either of those annoying champions.
a big majority of the band's the same. Sivir, the only different band, both games, both phases, I think.
Yeah, it appears to be.
So these teams content to just change things with the picks, not with the bands.
Yeah, so I mean, really, EGD they looked at that last game, they did the analysis, and they're like, okay, the Sivir ultimate, that engage potential was too much for us to handle. Maybe didn't like the sort of the snowbally AOE ricochet damage coming out of him, but in any case, they take it away, and they seem fine with anything. Back in our day, decides to pick here, and it's gonna be Vel'Koz.
Yes! We have been waiting so long to see this Vel'Koz out of Renai's circulation. It has been there. It has been pickable. They have opted out of it week in and week out. But this is the match they said, we saw Bestest One and Mr. Tuesday just wreak havoc from their backline. Let's show them a real backline. Jinx and Vel'Koz, they are going to team fight. And I am really happy to see here in the SBL Finals, these guys going to some of their just most well-known picks.
Wowzer. Okay, so we end the draft with Scotch, defaulting over to Braum. It makes sense here. Zyro is taken away from him, and it is his second most
And
played.
they did need the tankiness. They
They
need
did.
something to just peel for the Jinx and the Valkans because this game is entirely about Salvo and Renai from the back shredding the enemy team.
Yeah, but then the last pick overall, that counter pick, bestest one picks up Aurelia in the mid lane against Vel'Koz with the Ignite. At least that's what he has selected right now. So once again, a good counter pick in the mid here. Bestest one trying to win this lane outright, and hopefully get a big lead on this Aurelia because Jinx, a pretty immobile AD carry, and Aurelia having a lot of that backline threat potential.
All right, so I appreciate everyone sticking with us. And real quick, guys, I have been catching you in Twitch chat. Just been a lot going on, but I just want to say thank you to Salvo for the 4 months. Thank you to Sword and Mace, and I'm just Dan. As always, I appreciate your contribution to the Team Swain College Fund. Bless you all. When we get SBL Swift as an emote, I will make sure you know about it.
So yeah, it looks like he stuck with the ignited mid lane for bestest one, and Renai he actually is taking the heal, um, which unfortunately isn't the greatest against ignite for obvious reasons. Barrier probably would have been a safer choice here, but we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, we have seen this Irelia mid out of legendary players like the bestest one and Faker previously. So some good company, all things considered. And actually, no, maybe I'm misremembering. I thought the bestest one had played this Irelia, but I'm actually not seeing it.
Yeah, we've seen
So,
I believe other mid
Disenchanted
laners. Yeah,
has been
Disenchanted was the
had
other
some
one.
big games on it.
Yep. But I mean, for a while there was a patch or two where Aurelia mid was something to be very scared of. I believe they've toned her down since then, but still has a great potential to open up the lane early here with damage. Okay, that's a good one.
You really love him.
it's it's a relationship that's really hard to describe in words, and especially in the English language.
I think the only way to understand your relationship is to have been teammates with you and then watch your Twitch chat interactions over the course of 5 years now. You have to have lived it to understand bromance of that magnitude.
Yeah.
But it makes me happy. It warms my heart to see two bros so open with their love like you and Dan.
Yeah. Yeah. We try. We try to spread the love.
All right, so this game, God, I feel like I had so many thoughts about this game, and I was like quickly trying to catch up on jotting down all my band notes because I forgot to do that after game one, and then catching my breath, which I have still not fully done from that first game.
Yeah.
I
Just testing testing you
I like
here.
the I like the changes here. I really do like the changes here from both of these teams. I'm actually really surprised about that Sivir ban. I guess that's what I'm going to talk about. We're hitting a loading stream. I'm going to talk about one of the first rotation bans a little more. But I was surprised. I didn't think that back in our day played around Sivir well last game. I actually thought they did a bad job of using the Sivir. There were a lot of situations I didn't get to break down on broadcast because there was just too much going on to talk about, but I didn't think they were baiting objectives properly. They weren't engaging when I wanted to see them engage. But despite that, EGD was playing with a world and a half of respect for that on the hunt. And I think they knew just playing to respect that ult was affecting their playstyle too much. They didn't want to deal with it going into game two. So this could maybe be a win-win for both teams that that pick was taken away.
Yeah, I like that perspective on it. It's really just the principle of it, like you said, the threat of Sever having her ult up and being able to engage a couple screens away. Um, very scary for really only the 2 damage sets they had last game for EGD here. But they're bringing a good amount of damage still here, and still, 2 squishy damage dealers, Kaisa and Aurelia. But I mean, hook resets on this Wildfire Zyra, so a lot more damage actually coming out of the support role that we usually see for EGD.
Yeah, and I'm really excited to see that hook resets. Um, was pretty good that last game, to be honest. A lot of those team fights, I saw him capitalizing on the chaos very well. I'm really excited to see him with the potential to do some more traditional carrying here on the Zyra. As you're not loaded in yet, are you?
Nope.
Okay, I see Mr. Dubdrum at 0%.
Toaster identified.
Yeah, maybe the most accomplished toaster player in
Actually, he
SPL
doesn't. He doesn't
history.
actually have a toaster anymore. I don't know what's going
So he
on.
says he's
Yeah.
pretty excited about it, but maybe
Yeah.
for old time's sake, the finals, bringing the toaster back up. Unable to download spectator data.
Oh, the game will now exit.
Well, that's
Let's try that again.
yeah, I had that happen once in the regular season, and I just spectated my way back in just fine. Props to Riot though, they haven't just been cutting from the esports budget. Clearly, the spectator client has been taking some cuts this season too, as we have been saying all night, and we'll probably keep saying. There have been more just random spectator issues this SPL season than any season I can remember.
Yeah, it actually the spectator client, for how bad it is, it might actually be in its worst state I've seen. At least personally, it's affected me quite a lot. It appears, for whatever reason.
But I have made it in. Maybe you have as well.
I
It'll just be a
see.
moment. We're just running out of base right now, so
Okay, I see a loading screen. I have a
it could
cursor.
it could just be doing the early game lag out that I have half my games where it'll just drop me in at 40 seconds. So we do see back in our day they're going baiting a brush this time. Um, Shout out to Gwen. He has started with items this game. But EGD is just doing a level 1 fan out, so I don't think we'll see if back in our day wants to go for a late invade here, or if they're just sitting around waiting to be invaded upon and about to be disappointed. But Master Splinter is moving up, actually, yeah. Back in our day, moving forward, going up the blue ramp, but they're going to walk right up to that Irelia, and I think they're going to just grab control of the Scanner pole, head back to their own jungle. Be loaded in.
No, it's M0% on everybody. It's still spinning though, so my hope is still here before I punch my monitor.
All right, well, do you want to, before this game can get anywhere, swap the stream?
Yep. All right. Be right back, folks.